So, welcome to a very special episode of the Oceans Roundtable. Today, we are celebrating the Ocean 7th anniversary. And instead of only talking about milestones and technology, AI, and innovation, today we want to talk about what's behind all of them. That at the end of the day is our people, the challenges, the lessons, how this whole journey starts, and basically what shaped oceans into what it is today. I'm joined by Eder. Eder is our CEO, and also by Kevin. Kevin is the very first developer that Oceans ever hired. So today is going to be a super special episode. We are going to talk about some stories, what's behind us, and how basically all of this crazy journey starts. Before we get started, please make sure to subscribe to our roundtable for more conversations about technology, leadership, culture, and the people behind great things. So now let's start with some questions. Let's start with you, Heather. Let me ask you this: when you start Oceans, let me rephrase that. Before Oceans ever or even existed, what was the idea or the dream that you had in your mind?
Thank you very much, Pri. When we start thinking about the new journey, I was thinking about create a company that represent the value of myself and represent a happy place for all the families that are going to be that we're going to be involved in this project. And I think that we have been ever done a really good job because we have people for a long time, people with values like me, but people that are representing a real nice culture like Kevin. I am here with Kevin today, and I feel really proud about himself, about what he had been archiving and what he represents for us. Because he's not only one more developer, he is part of our culture and he's representing all the values that we have in the company. So I feel really proud about that. And I feel really proud about all the ecosystem that is around oceans, that is not only thinking in money, it's thinking about the people that are in front of us dedicating every single hour of their lives.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. So, either would you say being a business owner is like a dream you had since you were a kid, or just at some point of your professional career you realized that you wanted to do this?
No, I have ever planned this because for all my life, I want to be an entrepreneur. And obviously, I cannot start since the day one when I got graduated from the university. But I had that clear on my mind that I want to be a business owner at some point.
That's cool. I feel like for business owners that's something they have in their blood, like in their heart, and they know that that's what they want. Either what would you say is the harder has been the hardest part about building oceans, like your major challenge or something that uh has been from your perspective the hardest part of building oceans?
More than the hardest part, the more difficult situation that we have ever faced. Well, at the beginning was that I was very young, and when I was talking with CEOs and people that have a lot of years in the industry, they saw us like this is a young guy. He don't have a lot of experience, so it was hard to convince them talking. But after we make the actions, after we start working, they realize and they were totally convinced that we were fully capable to support them and to be a real partner. That was at the beginning, but right now the part that I can think is the more difficult is that the people follow you and continue trusting you through the years, and that's the only way that you can archive that is, showing the people that is around you that you are still taking care about them.
Cool. Thank you for that, Eder. Now we already know a little bit more about Eder. So, Kevin, let's go with you. I'm super curious, and I want to know this. How did you get into oceans? Like, what happened? What's the story behind you getting to oceans?
That's the funny part. I've told this story several times through these past 7 years. Yet I still enjoy it because it reminds me of one of the most meaningful memories of my life. And behind it, there is a deep and emotional story, I think, for Eder and for me and for the root of the company itself. Going back 3 years in time, at that point in my life, I was searching for a new challenge in my professional career. I needed something that would motivate me again, help me to grow personally, professionally.
So you were actively, I'm sorry for interrupting. I just want to clarify. You were actively looking for a new job, right?
Yeah, I was. I was in a given point of my career where I needed motivation. I needed something to challenge me. I was feeling stuck. That contact you freedom, uh, conversational fluid, Natalie, transparent, fast, honest, and I would say everything that I experienced in past was not like this since the beginning of time. So that was something that was making me feel so comfortable about it. And it was fulfilling my need of changing what I was doing, get on track with my motivation, with all the technical stuff and so on. So I really felt like God was putting all these things in place so that I can get the opportunity to get a new path, something that was exciting and something that I really needed at that moment. Then I eventually did quit my job, and I was fully committed to this new project, full of excitement and hope and thinking about everything that was ahead. Then one day, my friend Eder, he did call me when the company was going through a restructuring process. He told me that I will not sing for the company that we were talking at the beginning of time. It will not keep even the same name. So it was kind of hard. You know, it's not the kind of thing that you want to hear when you are dealing with this kind of negotiations when you are moving to a new position. And it was something totally unexpected. But we discussed about this, and he said that everything would work out. And he asked me to trust him. There's something special in this guy, and I knew that I had to trust him. At that moment, I had a panic attack. I was terrified, totally terrified, but I did trust him. So just like I said, I already did quit my job. I was completely unexpecting this, and then I was standing in the middle of nowhere. My thoughts, my emotions, my family, everything exploded suddenly. But despite everything, I felt like it was God's plan to do it like this. It was something to prove that we were ready to do something different. So Eder inspired me to trust him, and it was fantastic. I knew since that moment that it was the beginning of something cool. So from there, I accepted the challenge. I choose to move forward, ignoring everything that was making me feel nervous. I decided to take the challenge. It was one of the thoughts, decisions that I've made in my life. But at the end, in the very bottom of my heart, I was feeling it was something correct for both, for everybody. And today, 7 years later, I can honestly say that it has been one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life.
So
Thank
zero
you,
zero
Kevin.
regrets from that decision, Kevin.
Totally, totally. I love what I did, and I'm traveling back today. I'll say it again, man. I'll do it.
What was your
Yeah, thank you
first?
for.
No, I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I just want to say thank you for Kevin because at that time I called Kevin. That was the first developer that I want to hire, but that was the only one. If he doesn't accept the offer, the this project probably will be not real, or was impossible to create what we create at the time. But Kevin opened the door of many opportunities for many people that have been involved in the oceans community. So he's the responsible of that. So I really appreciate what you made and that you trust at that time, for just trust me because it was not a big or a huge thing support me at that time.
That's true. Kevin, what was your first impression of Oceans when you joined? Like, do you remember your Eder's first impression, or there was someone else in the team that you met at that time, I guess? So what was your first impression? Like, does this has potential, or do they look like good people?
Well, I realized that Oceans was different since the beginning because of the way that it got started. I knew there was not something common, there's nothing that I've seen before, but I was feeling that it was something truly special. I saw that there were a lot of room to do things right, to grow, to make a difference. More than anything, I felt like it was like an environment surrounded of good people in every sense of the word. So feeling that you have just a few days or a few weeks playing or working with somebody next to you, but you feel like you are like a year's colleagues or stuff like that. So that was impressive. I knew from that moment that Oceans was special. Air has something different. At that time, I remember I was having a conversation with Stephanie from Ukraine, and I felt something. I was pretty sure that it was the opportunity that God was providing to all of us. And since the beginning of time, and let me reemphasize it, I knew this was something cool, something different, something special. And nowadays, I can tell you, definitely it is.
Yeah, I agree on that. Personally, one of my proudest moments while working in oceans, I've been here for 4 years, so not as I do not have 7 years here as you, Kevin, but I have four, so I'm getting there. One of my proudest moments here is every time I talk to a consultant, and they are like, "Hey, Priya has been working here for just a month or 3 months or whatever time they have been with us." And I have 20 years of working for different companies, where I've been in many different projects, but this is the very first time that I'm treated as a person, that someone cares about me, about my family, about my kids, about me having surgery in a month, for example. So for me, that's like my proudest moment ever, because I mean, working in this industry where every day you face innovation, technologies, tools, robots, everything, being able to connect with the people, but not only connect, I'll say treat people as people. That's the key and the reason why we are being succeeded, right? So that for me is awesome. Kevin, is there any fun story you have in your mind? Something funny that happened to you in oceans during these 7 years? I know there is one, like on a trip you did and something happened to your knee, right?
Yeah, definitely. Well, actually, it was kind of the first team building activity we had. Eder organized it. I gotta say, it was pretty cool. We had a great time, but it was so challenging. Suddenly, like in the middle of the afternoon, we were in the middle of the mountain. It was raining, heavily raining, and this little friend over here just decided to get an injury on my knee. So I couldn't walk myself. So we were like, I'm pretty sure, like 20, 30 minutes, I don't know, something like that, away from the place that we were supposed to be back to get cover from the rain, to eat something and recover and all that. But I couldn't walk myself. So all the guys doing it, they had to take me on their shoulders, to take me out of the mountain. And it was, just like I said, it was raining dogs and cats. We had to cross a river. We had to walk in the middle of the mountain. It was so challenging. And I was so impressed because I wasn't expecting all the people to cooperate like that to get me out of there. And I said to myself, these people really care about me. And that was impressive. And that takes me to another thing. I remember that day we were taking some pictures. And at the beginning, we were just a small group of people. So you can take a picture, a selfie, and all of us were part of the picture. And you can see the smile on people's faces. Nowadays, it's impossible to just take a simple selfie and get all the people that is part of Oceans nowadays. But even though it is not possible, you can feel the happiness. And when you talk to someone, you can see the smile on their faces. That means that regardless of the number of people that we have at Oceans, people is happy. And that's the most important part of it.
But that also has been a challenge, because I mean growth, and then at the same time being able to maintain our culture and our values with the people, that's a real challenge that we have been facing. I mean, which is good, right? Growing is all we want. But at the same time, how do you maintain that relationship with the people that we have? Either from your perspective, what has been the key to get that, like to continue growing, but at the same time to continue having the relationships we have with our people?
Well, the key is, listen. Then what are the needs that they have, what they like, what they don't like, how they feel about different situations, because every single individual react different for different situation in their life. For me, my family is very, is the number one in my list. My Jesus, my God is number one. Then my family is probably number second. I love my work as well. Probably going to be number third. But at the end, what is important for them? Some of them are more focused on their hobbies. Some of them have family, have kids. What really matter for them, And if you pay attention of what they really matter, they're going to feel that we are appreciating them as an individual and not only seeing how many or how much money they are producing per month. That is totally different. So stay near of the team that you have, listen, stay with them, share a coffee is very important, and understand how they are feeling, if they like the project, if they don't, if they want to refresh or change the project. That's very, very key to for the growing. And the other thing that we do is, doesn't matter if they are in the country or they are working from other country, we visit them and we know their family. They know the place where they live. It's very different when a company only, most of them work remotely, and the owner of the company doesn't know the name, doesn't know if they are feeling well about the project, about the culture, whatever. So listen and also receive feedback. If you say what we can do different for, you know, to offer something better for the next year. Pay attention about the annual increases as well is very important as well. Not only, make increases when they ask for the increase. Yeah, everything is not like a unique plan, but the plan is go and listen what they need, what they like, what they don't.
This has everything to do with leadership. What has been the biggest lesson you learned about leadership, Eder, here at Oceans?
Well, the people going to trust on your leadership if you take care about them and if you are humble. The most significant part is being humble. Doesn't matter if you have money or you don't. You must be humble and sit in the same table or in the same room with them just to share. And doesn't matter if you have a lot of money. Yeah, that's not what really makes sense. The most important thing about leadership is being at the at the same level, just to hear, just to understand what is going on the ground. Instead of only hear the voices of the other leaders. Go to the top, to the end, and try to share a little bit time with them, just to understand the real life. Not only listen what the leader says, go down to the letter and stay with them for a while.
I agree on that. That has been the key for us. I remember a year you went to Argentina to Iguazu, and I remember that was a tough trip you did. Just met that was like one or two guys who live in there, right? And they are still with us, so we can say that was meaningful to them because they're still with us. They believe in oceans, and I remember that they were super grateful for Eder visiting them just because he wanted to talk to them. Like there was no other reasons, no other interest more than just meet you in person, saying hi, going out for some drinks, and spending some time together. So I read that has been key to us. Kevin,
Exactly.
if right now you have in front let's say right now you have in front of you a candidate considering joining Oceans today, what would you say to that person?
Oof. Actually, that's an easy one. Just give it a try. Moving forward with Oceans is giving yourself the opportunity to do what you love, give the best of what you can do, but also be happy at the same time. Feel that you are part of something, feel comfortable to ask for help or just to chat with someone that it's probably miles away from you, but you feel so close to that person. Working in Oceans is the opportunity to challenge yourself, to grow as the company is growing, to impact people's life, impact the business, to write your name high in quality and standards, and make sure that people will not forget what you did. Because here at the company, we have a lot of good people with a high level of quality. And I'm pretty sure that every little thing that we have done, every little line of code, or every little activity, every VTO, everything that we have done here at Oceans impacted people's life, ourselves, our people, the clients, and other people that we don't even know that learned something from us.
You convinced me. It's a deal. I'm joining. That
Okay.
was great. So before we get to the end of the episode, I do have a super cool dynamic for the three of us today. So I'm gonna give you a word and you're gonna give me a story just from that word. Okay? So who wants to start? Either Kevin?
I want to start.
Either. Cool. So let me see. Oceans merge. What story can you tell us from the Oceans merge?
Ocean Merge for me is, get all the community involved in only one place just to share time and have a good time.
Cool, cool. That's right. Kevin, your first project here at Oceans, of course.
Oof. That was challenging as well. The first project that I did, it was kind of in the middle of a struggle because a lot of people were moving to other positions. There was only one last standing person, and then I did join the team. I had 3 days of training to take over everything, and from that point, I had to deal with one of the most important clients that we had at that time. And it was my responsibility to keep things moving forward in production, development, a migration of a product, moving things from on-premise to cloud, architectural decisions, going directly to the client was a lot of things without enough time or context to get ready for it. But it was the time to shine in, and I was committed with Eder, with Oceans, to do my best. And I'm pretty sure I did it because everybody was happy about it. But yeah, it was so challenging.
I imagine. Did you learn in that project? I guess the answer is
Definitely, I did it as a professional and as a person as well. And I will say that I learned more as a person because I learned a lot about what Eric was talking about, heard about the feelings, about the thoughts of the other people. I had a team on my charge. I had to build it. Actually, I did interview everybody. At some point at Oceans, I was the guy interviewing everyone. So
that's true.
I knew all of our people. So at that time, I had the team and I kind of applied what Ed said, talking to people, trying to know what are they doing out of work, what are their thoughts, how are they feeling, the family, and that generated a relationship that improved our performance or delivery. And I was pretty sure that all of us were happy. So I learned a lot, and I'm pretty sure it was it was one of the biggest lessons that I'll take.
Yeah, I imagine. Now the word that I'm gonna choose for me is gonna be a trip. And I have a good one here. I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. I don't remember exactly, but we were in the U.S. visiting some clients, and I was there with Eder and also with Kater. That was in California, I think. And then we were in the afternoon after a conference or some meetings. I remember what we did exactly on that day. We're out just for a coffee, and we rented a car. So I had my backpack in the car. We were just getting the coffee and relaxing for some time. I needed to go back to the car, to the parking lot. And the moment I got in there, I just saw the car was open and my backpack was not there anymore. So I started like crazy calling Eder like, "Hey, come here, something happened." And then Eder saw the person with my backpack like running in the parking lot. So I start crying as crazy, but Eder started running as crazy after that guy that had my backpack. That was like a movie, I promise. Now I'm laughing, but at that time that was like the worst situation that ever happened to me, because in there I had my visa, my passport, my computer, jewelry, clothes, like lots of stuff, lots of important stuff was in there, mainly my visa and my passport. So we start a crazy journey after that. We had to go to the police department. I had no ways to come back to Costa Rica. I remember the embassy was in another city, so I even had to took like an internal flight. But how do you take a flight without a passport and without a visa in the US? I mean, I'm sure it was God who made me come back home. Eder was like super calm after everything, just saying like, "Hey, Pri, don't worry. Hey, Pri, you're gonna be okay. Hey, Pri, yeah, just trust. Everything is gonna be fine. You'll be back home. Do not worry." And I was like, I'm worrying, of course. Like, how I'm gonna get my new passport and my new visa so I can go back home. And after, I'll say, 1 or 2 days, I was able to come back home. But I will never, never, never forget that experience we had. And again, now I'm laughing, but when that happened, like that was a nightmare to me. You can imagine. Now we are done with stories for today, I think. We are now getting to the end of the episode, but before that, I wanna know, Either, what you have on your mind. I mean, after 7 years of building this whole company, what excites you the most about the future of Ocean, about what's coming?
Well, it's super exciting because now we have a lot of people in the community that is helping to grow for the next level. And the next level going to be a lot of AI. We have another new brand that is totally dedicated to the AI projects. We acquire one of the products that we are going to go to market soon that is going to help the enterprise level companies to create software. And the name of the product is Roswell Naoki. It's something that we are going to release soon. And I know that with all the community that we have around, with all the code experts, and with all the experience that we have been archiving through the time, the next chapter of Ocean's Code going to be much better for us and for all the people that is around. Because if something great happened to Oceans, something greater going to be happening to the people that is around oceans, because oceans is not only one company, it's a community, and it's going to reflect, all the benefits for the people that is connected with the community. So I'm really excited about what is going to happen in the next 7 years or more, but especially because the people that we have in our community are still with us, and as this is the most important piece of the company, the people, and the people committed, as Pri, as Kevin, and as many more that are in our community, that are still trusting in knowing the others' words, are trusting in the actions that Ocean have been delivered through the years. But yeah, I feel super excited. And I know that the future is brilliant for everyone here.
Yeah, that's true. As we were just talking before, I'm also super excited about it, and also to see how do we continue growing while we do not only care about growth. Again, this is just what we said before, right? So I'm excited to see the ways and the paths we're gonna find to maintain that growth, but to continue building relationships and making our people feel very, very special. Kevin, any last message for the Ocean 7th anniversary you want to share with us or with the whole team in this episode?
Okay, cool. It has been a journey that now reaches 7 years without ever stopping to surprise me. I'm pretty sure it has been the same for all of us. At some point, we thought that we saw everything that oceans can do for us. The next year, big things come. So I'm open to see what's next. I'm excited. I feel like waiting for the next chapter of a great series on Netflix. So I'm pretty sure the best is coming. And I want to thank everybody, all the people that it's already part of this, all the people that at some point did their contribution to make something great of oceans, and especially to Eder, because that trust that I did put on him is what it's taken us to this conversation today. Happy anniversary, Oceans. Thanks, Eder. And I hope that we can build many more great stuff.
Thank you, Kevin. We are going to do that, obviously.
It's a
Thank you,
promise.
Pri. It is.
So thank you both for the time to record this episode today. It was a great time, a great conversation we had. We were able to remember so many stories. So thank you for making the time for this. We'll see how many more years we're gonna be able to celebrate together as one team, as one company, and we'll also see what comes to us in the future, what the future has for us. So thank you for you all for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe to the Roundtable channel so you continue getting more and more and more episodes and conversations about technology, AI, leadership, culture, but the most important part, the people behind all of that. So thank you for your time and we'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you very much.